Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. God of War franchise. God of War is an action-adventure hack and slash video game series loosely based on Greek mythology, originally created by David Jaffe at Sony's Santa Monica studio. Debuting in, the series has become a flagship title for the PlayStation brand, consisting of 7 games across multiple platforms. An 8th installment is currently in development. It will be a soft reboot for the series and will be loosely based on Norse mythology. The series' story centers around its playable character, Kratos, a Spartan warrior tricked into killing his wife and daughter by his former master, the god of war Zeus. Kratos kills Zeus at the behest of the goddess Athena, and takes his place as the new god of war, but is still haunted by the nightmares of his past. Revealed to be a demigod and the son of Zeus, the king of the Olympian gods who betrays Kratos, the Spartan then seeks revenge against the gods for their machinations. What follows is a series of attempts to free himself from the influence of the gods and the Titans, and exact revenge. Santa Monica has developed all main entries, while Ready at Dawn and Java Ground. Sony Online Entertainment Los Angeles developed the 3 side games. Sony Interactive Entertainment has published all games except the mobile phone installment. It was published by Sony Pictures Digital. There are 2 eras of games in the God of War series. The first era are the first 7 games, which are based on Greek mythology, with vengeance as a central motif. Its main trilogy, God of War 2, and God of War 3, was released for the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 video game consoles. The 4th main installment, Ascension, a prequel to the entire series, was also released for the PS3 and features multiplayer. The 3-side games include Chains of Olympus and Ghost of Sparta for the PlayStation Portable, and Betrayal for mobile phones that support the Java platform, Micro Edition. Santa Monica is currently working on the 8th installment, also titled God of War, for the PlayStation 4. It will begin the 2nd era, which will be based on Norse mythology. In addition to the individual games, 2 collections featuring remastered versions of both PS2 installments, God of War Collection, and both PSP installments, Origins Collection, were released on the PS3 by Bluepoint Games and Ready at Dawn, respectively. Another collection, God of War Saga, was released for the PS3 and features God of War Collection, Origins Collection, and God of War 3. Sanzaru Games ported God of War Collection to the PlayStation Vita in 2014. In celebration of the franchise's 10th anniversary, God of War 3 Remastered was released on PS4 in 2015 and was ported by Wholesale Algorithms. Games in the series have been praised for being the best action games for the PlayStation brand, and some of the best action games of all time. In June 2012, Sony reported that the series had sold more than 21 million copies worldwide. Strong sales and support of the series led to the franchise's expansion into other media, such as a comic book series, God of War, 2 novels, God of War and God of War 2, and a web-based graphic novel, Rise of the Warrior. 2 documentaries have been produced, and a film adaptation of the original installment has been in development since 2005. Merchandise promoting the series has also been produced, including artwork, clothing, toys, and prop replicas, as well as the game's soundtracks, including a heavy metal album, Blood and Metal, featuring original music by various bands who were inspired by the series. First era, Greek mythology. God of War was first released in North America on March 22, 2005, for the PlayStation 2. After 10 years in the service of the Olympian Gods, Spartan soldier Kratos is tasked by Athena to find Pandora's box, the key to defeating Ars, the god of war, who is running amok through Athens. A series of flashbacks reveals that Kratos was once the servant of Ars, who saved the Spartan and his army from annihilation in battle, but tricked him into killing his family, which forced his metamorphosis into the Ghost of Sparta. Kratos eventually finds Pandora's box, and after finally killing Ars, he ascends to Mount Olympus to become the new God of War. God of War 2 was first released in North America on March 13, 2007, for the PlayStation 2. Angered at his fellow gods, Kratos runs amok across the city of Rhodes. Zeus intervenes and betrays Kratos, who is saved by the Titan Gaia. She tells him he must now find the Sisters of Fate, who can change his fate and prevent his death at the hands of Zeus. Kratos is ultimately successful, and as he is about to kill the god, Athena sacrifices herself to save Zeus and preserve Olympus, and tells Kratos that he is the son of Zeus. Kratos then joins forces with Gaia and the Titans to attack Olympus. God of War: Betrayal was released on June 20, 2007, for mobile phones supporting Java Me. It is the only game in the series to be released as a two-dimensional side-scroller and released on a non-PlayStation platform. The game's narrative takes place between the events of Ghost of Sparta and God of War 2. Kratos is framed for murder, and rampages across Greece seeking the true assassin. Kratos succumbs to bloodlust and kills Syrinx, the son of the god Hermes, an act that alienates him from his fellow gods. God of War: Chains of Olympus was first released in North America on March 4, 2008, for the PlayStation Portable. Its narrative takes place during Kratos' 10 years of service to the gods. Kratos halts a Persian invasion of the Greek city of Attica, and learns that the world has been plunged into darkness by the god Morpheus. Kratos investigates the abduction of the sun god Helios, and prevents the Machiavellian plan of the goddess Persephone to use the Titan Atlas to destroy the world. God of War 3 was first released in North America on March 16, 2010, for the PlayStation 3. Reigniting the Great War, Kratos is soon abandoned by the Titans, who were only using him to exact their own revenge. Helped by the spirit of Athena, who was elevated to a new level of understanding, she instructs him to seek the flame of Olympus in order to defeat Zeus. Kratos engages the gods and the Titans in an epic series of battles across the underworld and Olympus, and learns that Pandora's box is within the flame. He discovers that Pandora herself is the key to pacifying the flame and allowing him to open the box. After finally killing Zeus, he refuses to help Athena assume the role of new patron of mankind and disappears. God of War: Ghost of Sparta was first released in North America on November 2, 2010, for the PlayStation Portable. Set between the events of God of War and Betrayal, Kratos, the God of War, is still haunted by visions of his mortal past and embarks on a quest to discover his origins by finding his mother, Callisto. He learns that his brother Deimos was taken by the gods and imprisoned by the god of death, Thanatos, and decides to find and save his sibling. Although successful, Thanatos engages the brothers in combat, and kills Deimos. Kratos then kills Thanatos and returns to Olympus, further enraged at the gods. God of War: Ascension was first released in North America on March 12, 2013, for the PlayStation 3. It is the only game in the series to feature multiplayer. for both competitive and cooperative play. Set 6 months after Kratos killed his wife and child, he has been imprisoned by the Three Furies for breaking his blood oath to Uz. With the help of the Oathkeeper Orcos, Kratos learns that Uz and the Furies plan to overthrow Mount Olympus. The Spartan escapes his imprisonment, subsequently killing the Furies and Orcos, who begs for release. Although free of Ares' bond, Kratos begins to suffer the nightmares that plague him for years. Second Era, Norse mythology. The next installment, also titled God of War, was officially announced at Sony's 2016 Electronic Entertainment Expo press conference with a gameplay trailer. The trailer showed a fully bearded Kratos, who now has a son, and Kratos is teaching the boy how to hunt. The end of the trailer showed the title God of War and confirmed it is in development for the PlayStation 4. Gameplay in the trailer showed elements similar to role-playing games, such as archery knowledge points, as well as a Spartan rage-timed ability during battle. The game will take place many years after the events of God of War 3, and will be set in the world of Norse mythology, a concept originally considered by David Jaffe after Kratos eliminated the Greek gods. Although further games have not been officially announced, Cory Barlog confirmed that this new installment would not be Kratos' last game at E3 2017. Another trailer was shown and it was confirmed that the game will release in early 2018. Collections and remasters. God of War Collection was first released in North America on November 17, 2009. For the PlayStation 3, the franchise's first appearance on the platform. It is a remastered port of God of War and God of War 2. The games were ported by Bluepoint Games and feature high-definition 1080p anti-aliased graphics at 60 frames per second and trophies. Sanzaru Games later ported the collection to the PlayStation Vita, and it was released in May 2014, the franchise's only appearance on this platform. God of War Origins Collection was first released in North America on September 13, 2011. For the PlayStation 3, it is a remastered port of the two PlayStation Portable installments in the series, Chains of Olympus and Ghost of Sparta. God of War Origins was ported by Ready at Dawn, and features 1080p high-definition video, anti-aliased graphics at 60 frames per second, DualShock 3 rumble features, trophies, and it is the only God of War release to feature stereoscopic 3D. God of War Saga was released in North America on August 28, 2012. It is a collection of 5 of the God of War games for the PlayStation 3, released as part of Sony's PlayStation Collections line. The collection includes God of War, God of War 2, God of War 3, Chains of Olympus, and Ghost of Sparta. It features 2 Blu-ray discs, God of War 1 and 2 on the first and 3 on the second, and a voucher to download Chains of Olympus and Ghost of Sparta. The games retain the same features as their first PS3 releases. God of War 3 Remastered was first released in North America on July 14, 2015. For the PlayStation 4, the franchise's first appearance on the platform. It is a remastered version of God of War 3, and it features full 1080p support targeted at 60 frames per second and a photo mode. The game's announcement and release was in celebration of the franchise's 10th anniversary. It was ported by Wholesale Algorithms. Gameplay. The series currently consists of 6 single-player-only games, and a 7th that includes multiplayer. Each game typically features a third-person Fixed cinematic camera. The player controls the character Kratos in a combination of hack and slash combat, platforming, and puzzle game elements to achieve goals and complete the story. A first-person camera is featured in God of War 3 in Ascension. Betrayal is the only installment to feature a 2D side-scrolling view. Throughout the Greek era, Kratos' main weapon is a pair of double-chained blades that appears in 3 iterations: the Blades of Chaos, the Blades of Athena, and the Blades of Exile. They each perform similarly, but differ in the types of combos and amount of damage each yields, as well as cosmetic differences. Other weapons are also obtained during the games. Magic is also used, and 4 abilities are typically acquired. God of War 3 differs in that instead of separate abilities, there are 4 primary weapons that possess their own respective magic offensive. The game also features items, additional secondary weapons with limited usage, such as the Bow of Apollo. With each new game, most weapons and magic are lost via a plot device, and a new arsenal of weapons and abilities are required during gameplay. Ascension differs from the previous games in that instead of acquiring new weapons that are kept throughout the entire game, the player collects up to 5 world weapons that have limited usage. When there is not a world weapon equipped, the player can punch or kick foes as part of a new mechanic added to the game. The series offers combo-based combat, and includes a quick-time event feature, also called context-sensitive attacks, which is initiated when the player has weakened a foe. It allows limited control of Kratos. During the QTE cinematic sequence, success ends the battle, while failure usually results in damage to the player, as well as the QTE system. Ascension features a promptless freeform system, allowing players the choice of when to attack or dodge based on the enemy's actions. A grab maneuver can be used on minor foes. Relics, which the player can use in successive games, are also found and necessary for game progression. Kratos often has a special ability, which provides temporary invulnerability and increased attack damage. This ability has become an ongoing feature of gameplay throughout the series: Rage of the Gods in God of War and Ascension, Rage of the Titans in God of War 2, Rage of Sparta in God of War 3, and there is Bane in Ghost of Sparta. This ability can be recharged by building hits on foes in combat, and gaining game-specific orbs. Theris Bane, however, is recharged automatically. Gorgonite and Phoenix Feathers, found throughout the game in unmarked chests, increase the maximum amount of health and magic, respectively. Minotaur Horns, which increase the items and fire meter's maximum length, are available in God of War 3 and Ghost of Sparta, respectively. The items meter allows the use of secondary weapons, called items, and the fire meter allows the use of Theris Bane. The meters are increased in increments, and reach the maximum once a certain number of eyes, feathers, and horns are found. Other chests contain green, blue, or red orbs. Green orbs replenish the player's health. Blue orbs replenish magic, allowing further usage, and red orbs provide experience for upgrading weapons and magic for new, more powerful attacks, and replenish the rage meter in God of War. Gold orbs found in God of War 2 and Ascension, and white orbs in God of War 3, replenish the rage meter instead of red orbs. The rage meter in Ascension is also refilled by landing attacks on foes. Chests with changing colors, which allow players to choose which meter to replenish, have also been available. Red orbs can also be collected by killing foes and destroying certain inanimate objects. Bosses and more powerful opponents release a combination of colored orbs when killed via the quick time feature. With the exception of Ascension, Each installment offers a challenge mode, which yields extra red orbs, secret costumes, and behind-the-scenes videos. Bonus content can also be unlocked by defeating the game's difficulty levels. Battle arenas, which allow players to set difficulty levels and choose their own opponents, are included in God of War 2, God of War 3, and Ghost of Sparta. A quick-time sex minigame is also included in each installment except Betrayal and Ascension. Ascension is the only installment in the series to feature online multiplayer for both competitive and cooperative play. Up to 8 players on 2 teams of 2 to 4 players battle for control of a map in order to earn rewards from the gods. Players can also fight each other in one-on-one matches. Players must sell their champion's soul to either Zeus, Hades, Mars, or Poseidon, which allows players to try different weapons, armor sets, and powers inspired by the god of their choice, and extras can be unlocked. Thank you for watching. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Please like and subscribe below. Please like and subscribe below.